Steph Curry, once again, breaks the internet. Actually, most people on Twitter were saying right about when he started cooking, started getting hot, is Steph Curry trying to break Twitter tonight? And he did, and it was fantastic. So quickly, I'm going to do the internet reaction first, and then it's important to backtrack at about 3 other elements of this game that need to be discussed because not enough people are talking about it. So first things first, why you guys are here. What do you want for the clip? You want to see what people were saying after the game. Top 3 comebacks of all time. Number 1, Jesus' resurrection. Number 2, Steph Curry game 4 in Portland. Number 3, MJ's flu game. Go debate your bald-headed uncle. Because bald-headed uncle probably lived through the MJ area. Points in overtime tonight, Steph Curry 17, the Trailblazers 14, the Raptors and Heat combined 15. Oh my God, Steph Curry almost outscored the entire Raptors backcourt in a game. I don't always make shots, Francis. Just kidding. I always make shots.
Oh!
Did I do it again?
No, it was a nice little basketball transition right there. I like
so Paul Allen's the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, and there's a lot of R.I.P. rest in peace, Paul Allen. There was also this is what it looks like when your soul is getting sucked out of your body.
Yeah, there was tons of these. I mean, these guys surely must know that they're going to be the brunt of every meme when you make a face like this. This is where they need to practice the Joey Tribbiani not winning face on Friends when he has to practice his acceptance applause on one of the episodes where he doesn't win the award. He's like, oh, these guys need to learn this. You can't be just walking around with the Bill Murray and then, or the, who's the Clippers owner again that's always caught with his face tripping them?
Steve Ballmer?
Steve Ballmer. You just need to work on that. The camera's always on me. I can't look completely depressed face, but when you're a sports fan, sometimes you can't appreciate it.
Steve Ballmer's great. First of all, Steve Ballmer is always excited to be there. He's always screaming off at the top of his lungs, "Come on!" No matter what the situation is. We continue with more internet reactions. I'm going to lose my voice within 5 seconds. Curry, ice cold, right as he started getting hot, points to his watch because you know what the fourth quarter in Portland's called?
What?
Lillard time.
It is?
Not on Curry's watch, though.
Is that a watch or is it just a band?
It's just a band. No, he's not wearing a watch.
You never know.
Just my watch real quick. Who the fuck wears a
What time
watch
is it?
for time?
Well, how would he know?
Bill Simmons, Steph killed the crowd. I think they're dead.
Simple, to the point, Bill.
Very to the point. We continue. How is Steph Curry, this is one of my favorites, how is Steph Curry the most valuable player on a team that can win games without him? Did y'all just watch that basketball game? More on that later. Do we have more? I think we do have more. Tell your grandkids about this back-to-back MVP. Seth Curry, his brother, said it. Not bad. I mean, look, also the sister, I think Rydell Curry, said it's getting hot in here. Stephen Curry scored 27 of his 40 points in the fourth quarter in overtime. He was 10 of 14. He was 5 of 7 from 3. He had an NBA record 17 points. It's just disgusting what this man could do.
Because someone like Steph Curry goes off on just an unbelievable run like that in overtime, I feel like people often overlook some of the transition plays that were able to get him into those positions, like Ezeli and his defensive capabilities, stripping Portland, who I think got very lazy when it came to the end of overtime. I mean, it still doesn't allow me to comprehend how he's able to do that, but I think that they didn't do the simple things well in the end of overtime, and I think that Draymond Green played phenomenal defense as well in overtime, and I think those things have to be highlighted as well, but what's going to get a headline? The fact that those two played great defense and able to allow for Steph Curry to go into transition, or the fact that Steph Curry consistently is hitting crazy shots. Now, that being said, you do need to run these headlines. Why? Because we ran the headlines back in February when he went on that unbelievable streak against OKC with the 38-foot three to win the game. And we didn't think we'd see anything like that again. And now he goes on to find a new way to continue to surpass his own expectations, or even if he has expectations at this point anymore, because I think he just thinks he could do anything in any part of that court, and that is what makes him great. And I think that it pays tribute to the kind of player that he is to come back from adversity. Didn't play well in the first half, was fairly cold at certain points, and even some of the simple things that he's usually good at, his transition basketball, his passing, just weren't as fluent as you'd expect. But that's what great players do, is they don't allow that to completely throw him off his game. And that's what it means when you're an MVP, you can be valuable at any points in the game to win your team the game.
The voting came out today. Curry won unanimously, and this is where people have to stop because, yeah, you can debate 2 and 3. Like Kawhi was the second guy on that list. LeBron was 3. Westbrook, oh my God, 54 double-doubles, 18 triple-doubles. How could he not be even considered for number 2 or number 3? There's obviously a debate there. But Curry won unanimously. And while I think I know more than some sports writers out there, I don't know more than every single sports writer with a vote, and neither do you. So every single sports writer who gets a vote for the MVP voted for Steph Curry. That's unanimous. That just means that he's the best player in the league right now.
Yeah.
And here's another great point of that. I said it on Facebook Live right before the clip. 0 for 9 from 3 when he first entered that game. He was 2 of 12 at one point during the game. It was tough for him to really get his shot down. Warriors, +8 with him on the court. This is before he took over. +8 with him on the court, -16 with him off the court. That's an MVP. That's somebody who wasn't knocking down shots and still had a dramatic 24-point swing in on-court, off-court, plus-minus to change the fate of that game. There's a few other things that need to be discussed. Shaun Livingston was ejected from the game. And he got ejected after arguing with Scott Foster with 1:36 remaining after an obvious foul. But look, the refs have been, shaky at best through every single playoff series. In the history of time, the refs are always either right or wrong. I'm not going to get too much into it. I don't blame them. But they missed that call. He had an elbow come down on his head, and Livingston was pissed. But Livingston can't. First of all people to get pissed off, I never expected it to be Shaun Livingston. But he argued with the ref, and he got a technical, and then he kept barking at him. You can't keep barking at him, especially with a half of a Steph Curry coming off the bench. You don't want to force Curry into playing more minutes than he had to. Granted, they needed him to play those minutes. Livingston getting ejected was not the best thing for the Warriors. I actually thought at that point so much momentum in the Portland Trail Blazers' favor, I didn't know outside of a 17-point overtime how the Warriors were going to find a way to win that game. Draymond Green had 20. He had a more impressive stat line than Steph Curry did, if you're going to look by the numbers. I get it. Curry 17 points in overtime. It's a record. Draymond Green, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 7 blocks. He almost had a 5x5. He was 1 steal short of a 5x5, which is unbelievably impressive in any facet of the game.
In-N-Out should bring out a burger just to kind of pay tribute
like
to
the double-double?
Double-double.
The 5x5.
That would be phenomenal. I would be so full, but it would be great.
Yeah,
It'd
it would be good. Would it be
huge.
Animal style? Or
it would be huge.
I realize I say animal style, and then nobody, literally 98% of the people watching this clip are like, what is In-N-Out?
They should know what animal style is, and they should know what In-N-Out is. Come to California, try it out, and thank me later.
Ridiculous, right? All right, so Draymond Green, by the way, a few more elements before we wrap up the clip. Quote, Draymond Green, I think it's number 10. If I don't think they're done, I don't know who else is going to think it. We're going home with a 3-1 lead. It's up to us to close it out, and I trust my teammates. I trust our team to come out ready to go and close this series out. Of course, I think they're done. It's time for us to close the series. We did what we wanted. We did what we needed to do. We came up on the road and got 1 win. We took care of the home court. Now it's time for us to do it again. And you never really want to say, they're done, it's over, they can't win.
Yeah,
you never want to say that.
Yeah, and we've seen this come to fruition in the past when was it against OKC? I think it was Steph that was actually said that he was looking towards the next game before they had played OKC. And
it was the Super Bowl, a win and a win.
Yes, that was it. Yeah,
and the Panthers lost.
The Panthers lost. So it never. You don't want to jump ahead of what you can't control. But it seems like if there's any team in the NBA who you're confident that they can control, it's Golden State, because you know that when they're at home court with a healthy Steph Curry and the morale boost that they're sure to get from that win, they are going to take care of business. This is something that we expected, but that shouldn't take away from the credit that is deserving of the Portland Trail Blazers. They've already taken them further than a lot of people would have expected, even with Steph Curry out, yes, I know.
My God,
but to take them to overtime even last night, and Damian Lillard just going off in the first half of that basketball game, and then another point you wanted to make is how can someone who had, I would say, a great amount of MVP nods, considering it wasn't like with the unanimous, to be put forward for that, how he wasn't an all-star? Yeah, it doesn't add up.
It's the single greatest crime in NBA history.
It just doesn't add up, and that's how I'm a little confused towards that. That's why when it comes to the All-Star game, I don't even want to look into more as to what it should be, because it's just a popularity contest. It's like, all right, this guy is going to sell more jerseys, he should get in over merit, so I don't even want to consider it. But someone did write that in a recent article. But anyway, Portland Trail Blazers have given themselves every single reason possible to be proud of their run so far after discarding of the Clippers, and then also giving, I would say, Golden State a lot harder of a time than they expected.
Yeah, Terry Stotts should have been Coach of the Year at points because they lost 4 or 5 of their starters. Damian Lillard was 13 of 16 from the free throw line. Even when Damian Lillard isn't shooting well, 13 of 16 from the free throw line though.
Yes,
he finds a way to get his team points. It's great. CJ McCollum deserves a nod. Al Farouk Aminu is great. That team is one great player away from pretty much running through the Western Conference to the finals.
So there's a lot of teams. We should do that probably at the end of the year. Probably propose that clip. It's really interesting to propose the amount of teams that are one great player away from making this whole franchise of NBA basketball even better.
Comment below. We'll see you next time.